Well, it probably went about like you hoped, right? There's some highlights for the offense, highlights for the defense, and so obviously both sides of the ball have reasons to be optimistic and happy about some performances of some guys, but there's obviously a guarantee a number of plays on both sides of the ball that'll have the coordinators pretty frustrated and the position coaches, and obviously that means you got a competitive team, a competitive roster. Anytime it's completely one-sided from one side of the ball or the other, that usually spells trouble on that other side of the ball, and so we'll dig into the film and see where we're at, and obviously we know we got a long way to go to be a polished product by the season time, but that's what the off season's for, and so we got a lot of time to get healthy now. We got to get some guys healthy. We got to get back in the weight room and in the summer, and then we got to get ready to go for fall camp.
We got to see Will take some deep shots today. Your thoughts on his ability to do that?
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, if you dig into the numbers from last year, and I won't bore you guys to death with all of it, but he's actually one of the most accurate passers of Power 5 quarterbacks when the ball was pushed, targeting 20 yards or more down the field. And so, obviously, if you can run the ball effectively, and if you have the ability to do some play action, build some play action off of that, and 7-man protections, that allows your quarterback to set up and have time to push the ball down the field. And you still got to be able to do it, obviously, in 10 personnel looks too. And so, he's a real accurate passer when he pushes the ball down the field, and we're encouraging him to, be aggressive and not reckless. I tried to tell him the other day. I like to think of myself when I was a defensive play caller as I was an aggressive blitzer, maybe not a reckless blitzer, even though there's probably quite a few clips to prove otherwise. I told him I think that should be his mindset as a quarterback too, and throwing the ball. Be aggressive, just not reckless.
When you have the speed on the field with a guy like Xavion and a guy like Tulu, how much does that help when you to be able to push the ball down the field?
You can't coach speed. You can't coach. It's pretty simple, right? I mean, if you got speed at receiver, it means you better have speed in the secondary to cover guys like that. It forces you to play a whole lot of soft zone, and so it's good to have speed.
I know it's only spring, but are you seeing the glimpses of maybe the offense trying to establish an identity out there? Guys who are committed to the run, and like you said, Will's taking some deep shots.
Yeah, I think. I think the coaches are also identifying what do we do best, right? I mean, I don't think you can establish an identity until you know, hey, these are our best players, and these are what we execute the best. And so, we're still identifying, what run schemes are we best in? What type of passing game? Is it play action pass? Is it run RPO world? And so, obviously, we're doing a whole lot of everything right now, so we can evaluate everyone in all different roles and figure out what we do best.
Even with Woody and Simeon not playing today, you still had a lot of success on the ground with Seth and Jeffrey. Just your thoughts of their performance today?
Yeah, they did a nice job. I mean, sometimes the running back's got to know when you just got to get north and south and get what's there, right? And not try to bounce everything or hit the home run. I mean, the fact of the matter is 4 yards or more on first down is a pretty efficient run, right? And so I think the guys did a good job of getting downhill when it was there. And obviously that means the guys up front did a good job of creating movement at the line of scrimmage and creating some push on the D-line. Now, obviously, we're a little thin right now on the defense. You saw us playing a 2 defensive line group the whole time. Unfortunately, because of injuries and guys getting rolled up on stuff up to this point, the defense we're having to operate with a 4 linebacker group and manufacture some of our D-line stunts with actually a stand-up linebacker and nose guard. So that helps out too. That helps you run the football too. But it was good. I mean, obviously, if you're going to run a football, you got to gain yards and you got to be effective doing it.
You talked a lot about the pro players that have come out of the state specifically, but really from Mississippi State too, and you had a ton of them here today. Jeffrey Simmons, Willie Gay, Dak Prescott, guys like that. What's that mean to have those guys back on campus and being around the program a little bit too?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, obviously we want an open door policy. We want those guys around as much as we can possibly have them. A, because they gave a lot to this university, and they're putting us on the map with what they're doing at the next level. And B, I mean, the fact of the matter is they've invested a whole lot of effort, time, blood, sweat, and tears in this program, right? They deserve to be welcome back here, and so we're awfully proud of them. I mean, I take great pride. You hear the stat, right, of 28 Bulldogs in the NFL. 19 of them either played high school football or junior college football in the state of Mississippi. I've said it ever since I became the head coach here, and I think even back when I was the defense coordinator. As long as we keep the best players in the state of Mississippi coming to Mississippi State, the future of this program is incredibly bright.
Obviously, you've got he's still just a redshirt freshman. I know he's still got a lot of learning to do, but what have you seen from Calvin Dinkins this spring?
Yeah, Dink's doing good. He's one of them guys who got a little banged up early, so he missed a couple practices. And then he got him back, and then obviously we got some other guys banged up, so he had to play a whole bunch of reps. I think last scrimmage he probably got close to 50 reps, and I bet you today he probably got more than that. And most D linemen can't handle that workload, and so we're incredibly excited. He's probably about as strong as guy we got in the program, and so we're excited. I mean, he's going to have to play for us this year.
What do you make of where your linebackers are at right now? I mean, obviously you know what you're going to get with a guy like Buki, but it seemed like, Deshaun Page and John Lewis are coming on pretty well.
Yeah, obviously, Buki and Jet played a whole bunch of snaps. Right? Buki didn't really play hardly any today, but Deshaun has continued to flash and build on what he's shown his entire time here. I've said it before, I probably didn't play him enough when I was a linebacker coach, and I think there's things we probably look at. He could have helped us in some situations even last year, and so it's nice to know that we can count on it at the very minimum 3-man rotation at those two, Mike and Will positions between those 3 guys. Then obviously we've got to replace Tyrus Wheat as our same linebacker. Tyrus and Sherman Timms, played every snap really the last couple of years, and now those guys are gone, and so you hear about the competition with JP and John Lewis, and the fact of the matter is both guys are going to play. Why don't we let you go since you've been getting cut off?
It only took